Shamanettes, and welcome to The Beauty Shaman. As we head into fall and winter, many of us watch our skin begin to dry up and lose its lovely summer hue. In this video, we're going to discuss what to do to help your skin as the weather changes, including summer to winter and winter to spring and summer. How can you flow with the changes in temperature so your skin stays looking amazing? That's what we're going to address. All right, before we get started, please visit my website at thebeautyshamanstore.com and sign up for my newsletter while you're there. It's a pretty awesome newsletter. Also, please subscribe here on YouTube and hit the bell to be alerted every time I upload a video. Okay, let's get going. Okay, so your skin likes consistency. It wants to get up, it wants the temperature to be the same, it wants to feel lovely, it wants you to drink lots of fresh water. Your skin's very particular, right? It's not like you can go hot to cold, and your skin not be angry and ticked off and be like, stop. All right, so what do you do? Because here we are, as I'm making this, we are heading into fall. In the United States. I actually now live in Ecuador, which means I'm heading into summer. So it's very interesting because it's been sort of chilly here. We have the opposite, right? Because we're near the equator, which has been so much fun. Can I tell you, I didn't bring enough sweaters. So what do you do now that it's heading into fall and you notice the temperatures start to change? Okay, so here are some tips with our skin being so sort of temperamental and needing lots of TLC. So these are some of the things I would do basically, is I would really watch taking things like hot showers. You're colder, so you're going to take even more hot showers, and it's almost too much. So you go from a cold bathroom to, suddenly this hot water on your skin. If there's any way you can make that less dramatic, that will help your skin. And then try not to stay in the hot shower for too long. Like many of us love hot showers, so we want to get in there and just stand there for, forever or whatever. All right, so don't do that. Try to stay in less long, and it will cause your skin less angst. Okay, then there's central heating. So many of us, as it gets colder, we want to turn the heat up, right? We want that warm air. And what that can do is also just all of a sudden dry out your skin. I don't know I'm sure you've noticed, right? You turn on the central heating and suddenly your face goes, all right. So that doesn't mean don't turn that on. It just means pay more attention to using a heavier moisturizer, maybe drinking more spring water. Another thing you can do is take omega-3 and 6 oils. That's something I'm a firm believer in. I take a lot of oils. I take about 2 tablespoons in the morning and 2 tablespoons at night, the equivalent. You can take it in a gel tab or liquid. But that makes a huge difference in really hydrating your skin. I notice a big difference when I take a lot of oils, and take even more as it gets colder. You'll know if you're taking too many oils, too much oils, because your skin will just become sort of a little bit too shiny, too oily. For many of you, you would love that. I think that's true, right? But really start to raise those levels of taking omega-3s and 6s as it gets colder. Also, your diet changes a lot when you get the weather gets colder, right? You're eating heavier foods, you're drinking hot drinks, that sort of thing. So, I think if you can modulate your diet a little bit and pay attention to what causes angst in your skin. I mean, for me, when I eat a really heavy meal, it's almost like my skin kind of goes, ugh. So I try to keep things on the lighter side, not eating really heavy meats and that kind of thing. Sometimes that can really contribute, for me anyway, because your digestion has to work harder in some cases with those things, and that can really influence your skin. Your skin is directly connected to your guts. Your gut is your second brain. If your skin doesn't look good, it most likely 99% of the time stems from a gut issue, or maybe your flora in your guts has been minimized. Taking higher levels of gut flora can really help your skin condition on the whole. So I definitely recommend that. But as it gets colder, just pay really close attention to that, because if you start to get darker circles or, just noticing it in your skin texture, maybe, it might be wise to change your diet a little bit as the weather gets colder. Okay, what if you're like me and you're going from cold to warm? All right, what about those type of things? So your skin, if you're going from the colder weather, you're used to using a much heavier moisturizer. This is the one I've been using. This is SPF 50. It's an Image MD Restoring Daily Defense Moisturizer. I love this. It is a heavy moisturizer, So as I go into summer, I may not want to use something quite that heavy. I might want to use something a little bit lighter because there's more humidity here. In Ecuador, it's, we have a fair bit of humidity. And this, I live in the mountains, so it's not as humid as, say, you go to Quito. I'm in Cuenca, which is 10,000 feet. So we're not quite as humid, but maybe you live in Florida or Georgia or something where you're always going to have that high level of humidity. I would really look into changing your, not just your moisturizer, but potentially also your cleanser. Because a lot of you, as you head into more humidity, your skin begins to secrete more oils. You just get more oily. Some of you have oily skin. Some of you, it just gets to become more oily. So you might want to switch from maybe if it's you're in the cold weather and you're using an oil-based cleanser, or a creamy cleanser, maybe a really emollient cleanser. It might be too heavy as you go into warm months, and you might need to switch over to one that is maybe a foaming cleanser, because those tend to be better for oilier skin. So having 2 sets of skincare for the summer and the winter months is not unusual. I think particularly in the areas of your cleanser and your moisturizer, you know, for serums and that sort of thing. I mean, I'm surrounded by all kinds of serums. This is my retinol serum. I would say you can use that year round. Just pay attention, because if your skin is more dehydrated and you put retinol on it, it can actually cause more irritation. So hydration is really right. It's the big question mark with both the summer and the winter, is being sure that your hydration levels are kept where they need to be, right? So in the winter, you don't want to dry your skin out too much, and during the summer, you want to be sure that you're not using too much hydration. Okay, so skincare 101, you need a cleanser, a moisturizer, a vitamin C serum, and a retinol. Those are kind of the basics. You can also add an exfoliant in there, which contains alpha hydroxy acids. That will help with cell turnover, keeping your skin look really revitalized, using salicylic acid, lactic acid. Any of the alpha hydroxy acids is really, really helpful for that. Those are just added on. I think the top 4 ingredients or top 4 products you really need, like I said, cleanser, moisturizer, retinol, and a vitamin C serum, and then just modulate your cleanser and moisturizer for the season depending on what you're doing, and maybe use a little bit more retinol at different times of the year if you feel like that's necessary, and less when your skin is more irritated, because it can cause irritation. So I hope that's helpful when it comes to changing the weather and what you need to do. Please write down below. I always respond to comments and questions. Thank you so much for watching The Beauty Shaman.